TNA Wrestling has had an interesting 2024 to say the least. From getting rebranded back to the TNA Wrestling name after years spent known as Impact Wrestling and no other name, GFW, we won't talk about that, to signing a major talent swapping partnerships with first AAA down in Mexico and later WWE NXT, to selling out live events and moving into slightly larger arenas, to the meteoric rise of Joe Hendry just breaking through into the main event scene and making himself the most over person in all of professional wrestling this year. So with all of those things said, here are some of the things that I believe TNA should do to take themselves to the next level in 2025. Now, I know I've said this many a time during my how TNA should capitalize on momentum going out of the pay-per-views. So some things will be similar, but I've tried to keep most of the things on this list completely new and original, so as not to repeat myself again and again. So with that all said, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Sudden Impact. I'm John, and without further ado, let's get started. This is Sudden Impact. So, pyrotechnics, pyro, fireworks, whatever you choose to call them, are a staple in any big wrestling show, as it is mainly used to open a wrestling show and on occasions close them out after a feel-good moment occurs, such as a major title change at a major pay-per-view event. Just ask Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. So WWE, Jim Crockett Promotions, WCW, Ring of Honor, and even early days TNA have used pyro while during their Impact Zone residency in Orlando, in Universal Studios Orlando. So pyro also generally symbolizes who is supposed to be a big deal in a wrestling company. Now, during their financial struggles, TNA removed fireworks due to just simply cutting costs. Now, their use in TNA is sorely missed, and there are several wrestlers who would benefit from having pyro in their entrance, and as well as several events that would benefit from the use of pyro as well, like mainly the pay-per-view events, just to up their importance and make them feel like they're the bigger shows. Now that TNA is running shows in some larger arenas, mainly the pay-per-views, why not capitalize on this by also reintroducing pyro into those shows? Now, this is just a simple thing that TNA can do to just make themselves seem like a bigger deal in 2025. And so are you liking this video? Want to see more? Then like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It's free and helps me produce more videos like this. So go ahead and do it so I can continue to bring you great videos about TNA wrestling. The next one is with WWE's move to streaming giant Netflix. This has left many countries that WWE currently airs its programming with empty slots that need to be filled. Now, these slots may just be filled with like original content or reruns of other shows, but those networks could also be wanting to continue their professional wrestling journey, as and give those empty slots to another wrestling company. So, as I reported on this channel in the previous episode that I did, Canadian network Sportsnet 360 has already signed a deal to air TNA programming across the country. So, Sportsnet 360 was one of Canada's home to WWE programming, and since the move to Netflix, they were looking for another wrestling program to fill that void. Now, hopefully, this is what more TV networks do worldwide that are in the same position, and I'm hoping that TNA can sign deals with some of those networks in those countries. Now, most of those countries already have TV deals separately signed to air AEW and some other wrestling companies. Things mean a greater deal for Impact or TNA programming. So, as it would not only grow TNA's global presence, but be another way that TNA can capitalize on their success in 2024 and just test out the markets before potentially doing tours or events in those countries. Now, I thought I would give TNA's US distribution deal or TV deal a separate mention, because this has been one of the company's focus since mid-July. This has been reported on by senior management in TNA, as well as wrestlers that are in a senior position as well, such as Matt Hardy and PCO and Sami Callihan. So this deal should be a minimum for TNA in 2025, as it would not only provide greater exposure to the US market, but it would also include a streaming component so that more people have access to all of TNA's programming. So the network TV and cable TV are fantastic, but it should also include a streaming component. So I've listed all of these on different videos I've done. Just go check them out, and because I've done a bit of I've listed the ones that I would think benefit from TNA appearing on their network, and then having TNA basically go on their network as well. So hopefully a deal is not too far away. They must be just hammering out the details of the finer points. So hopefully it isn't too far away. Another thing that I would like to see TNA do in 2025 is have the wrestlers they originally gave opportunities to in earlier in their career, like AJ Styles, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre, get them to come back for a couple of matches, or at least one match, and just build up to that match and make it a marquee match, basically. Now, in 2025, if TNA can work out a deal with WWE to have any of those wrestlers appear and wrestle a match in a TNA ring at a TNA event, this would be massive for the company and a definite sign that they are taking it to the next level. Now, there is speculation that this could be possible, as WWE are wanting to have a few TNA wrestlers appear in the Royal Rumble. So, again, this deal maybe hammered out between WWE and TNA, and hopefully we do get to see some TNA wrestlers in the Royal Rumble, as well as some WWE wrestlers, like the ones I said before, or any other people that have had their start in TNA and gone on to change the wrestling landscape. And finally, this is the most important thing that TNA should do to take themselves to the next level, and it is put the World Championship on Joe Hendry. Now, I mentioned this in my Bound for Glory review video I did a few months ago, that TNA should have pulled the trigger on Joe Hendry and made him the world champion at that pay-per-view. For whatever reason, they didn't. But now he has a match for the World Championship at Genesis again on January 19, which should not be considered a spoiler, because this match was determined earlier this month at the Final Resolution live event, where Hendry won a four-way match to determine who would challenge for the World Championship at the event. And I also discussed it on my Final Resolution video. This is a must for TNA. You've got the most over person in the wrestling business at the moment, and just keeping him away from the title is not a smart thing to do. Just put the championship on him at Genesis, give him a little bit of a run with the championship, and have him and either have him represent the company at the Royal Rumble, which is what it's being speculated as happening. The crowd would just be massive if Joe Hendry's music came over the sound system at the Royal Rumble. It needs to happen. It needs to happen as of Genesis. Okay, so those are some of the things I feel that TNA should do to take themselves to the next level in 2025. Now I want to hear your ideas. So sound off in the comments section. I hope everyone has a fantastic start to 2025, that continues throughout the year. So until next time, I'm John, and this has been Sudden Impact.